Huh, brother. It is still, let me check, the weekend. And while you may have had a video lined up about phone chargers and relationships, I had a video lined up about Executive Order number 14341 and the Migratory Bird Treaty Act of 1918. But you asked for my help, so that can wait. First, I thought it would be good for me to actually take the test that you showed, although, you didn't give me a link, so I had to go find it on my own. But I did, I found it. So I'm going to take this test. Yeah? Sometimes. Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pretty much all the time. Let's see. Oh, so I might be in the same boat as you. Now, I was also, at a younger age, diagnosed with ADD, but I was diagnosed by a professional that I no longer see, so I'm not even officially diagnosed anymore. I'm not a medical professional, but as far as I understand, ADD is just an outdated term for ADHD inattentive. So we've both been diagnosed with ADHD just as an outdated form. But, neither one of us have an official diagnosis, which is fun. When I went to go get medication for depression, I actually talked to my medication provider about it, and they gave me a little sheet of paper that said oh, here are the places you could go get diagnosed, which I promptly lost. And then when I went back, I asked for another one. I lost that one too. And then when I went back for another round of medication, I finally got one that I kept, which I still have in my desk, and I have been procrastinating on getting an appointment for 2 years now. But hey, maybe I'll get around to it. As you can see, I haven't fully conquered the beast, but I do have some tips. Essentially, I had to figure out the reason why I was procrastinating. And it really comes down to procrastination is a really effective way of getting enough motivation to overcome the barriers to entry. But as I dove deeper into it, I realized that motivation breaks down into a few subcategories. You've got interest, boredom, which is, the opposite of interest, and then energy. So I realized if I had a lot of energy, right? If I highly caffeinated myself, then I would have more motivation. Or if I found the thing more interesting, I would have more motivation. Come with me, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I want you to imagine, if you will, that this is you, right? And this is the task you have to do. Now, how are you going to get enough strength to get over this task? Now, you could have superhuman strength, superhuman motivation. And that can happen, if you feel like your life or your livelihood or something depends on it when you procrastinate. And then you can get enough strength to get over that. Now, is that the best way to do things? And I think everybody else says no, because once you do that, you are exhausted and you have no energy to do anything for probably the next couple of days. So, what do you want to do? Well, you obviously want to make this smaller. This is your task or your barrier to entry. Now, you want to do things to make the barrier to entry smaller. So, if you can make it so that it's easier for you to do the task, for instance, if you can make it so that your station is easier to set up, if you can find a shortcut to make it a little bit smaller, if you can put it or set daily reminders to make it so that you think about it more often so that you're a little bit more motivated each day as opposed to just overwhelmingly in one day, now it's a little bit easier to deal with. Now, can you still jump over this? No, it's still not possible. So instead of trying to beat the tower, you do what you're already kind of trying to do, which is to make it into steps, right? So you break it down into reasonable steps. So step one is to just, think about the task. Think about starting it, right? That's step one. Just think about it, do some background processing on it. Step two is to make a basic step towards it, right? Writing something out about it. You don't have to start doing it, but bring a notepad with you, and when you have a thought, something that you're oh, that's a good idea, or that's a new way I could do it. That's step two. And then step three, you start setting up a way to do it, right? A place to do it, or setting aside time to do it. And all of these take a little bit more effort, right? Each one takes a little bit more effort. And so you've set aside time to do it. You've thought about it. You've done a little bit of thinking about it. You've done a little bit of doing it. And then probably your last step is to actually just do the project. So it's a little bit easier to get over the task. It's not easy. You have to go up each step. It's not it's not an incline. It's still steps. But It's a little bit easier and actually more manageable than going over the whole tower. So this is how I break things down, and it seems to work okay. It's not perfect, and the last thing that I would say is to try not to beat yourself up if you don't do something every day, right? I find that it is harder for me to get onto the first step if I feel like I'm going to fail to get over the whole thing. So if I feel like I'm going to fail or I've already failed, then I don't really want to start at all. And I find that when I set up a routine that I feel like I have to stick to every day or every week or every month or something like that, and then I fail to do it one time, that I am instantly a failure and that I should just stop trying to do it at all. So I think it's probably healthier and better to think of things as individual battles in a war as opposed to the war itself. So, let's take dieting, for example. If you fail to diet one day, that doesn't mean that your diet is ruined. That just means that you didn't diet that day. But if you generally diet most days of the week, then you have won the war even if you lost a few battles. So let's get to the positives of ADHD. And really, the main one is the hyper-focus, right? You can hyper-focus on something, and it's kind of like a superpower, right? Where you just get so focused on something, time just kind of stops existing. You don't really realize how much time you spent on something. You don't really remember to sleep or really to eat. The only thing that exists is that thing in front of you. And a great way to trigger that is to procrastinate. But I found a way, it doesn't reliably do it, but it does trigger it sometimes, which is better than none of the time. And I'll show you exactly what I do. So I go full basic bitch mode, and I use the Pomodoro technique video from Lo-Fi Girl. And as you can see in the bottom right here, it has, work, and then when the work time stops, there's rest time. And you can hear it in the background, it's nice calming music and whatnot. It gives you exactly what it sounds like. There's, a certain amount of time where you're working, and then there's a certain amount of time where you're resting, and I'll set like little reminder alarms on my watch. But the thing is that I don't adhere strictly to it. Eventually, there comes a point where I don't want to stop working on something, and then I just don't stop working on it, because then I'm in the zone. I'm in that focus point, and I don't let it stop. But if I want to stop working, if I am ready for a break, then I know that a break is going to come up, and when break time starts, I take a break, and that's it. That's the whole thing. I work for a break when I want a break, and then when I don't want a break, I just don't take the break. That's it. I wish that I had something better and more profound for you, but honestly, I'm just going to say just do what works. I mean, whatever works for you, do it and stick with it, but be kind to yourself. If you can't stick with it 100% of the time, it's okay. It's hard. It's very hard, and you're not alone in thinking that it is hard, and you're also not alone in other people telling you it's not that hard, because to them it's not. And man, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of those people. I wish I could keep a schedule. I wish that I could keep a habit. I just can't. My life is full of coping mechanisms and oddballisms and things that work for me that everybody else thinks are strange and they think are unnecessary, but they work for me and they have to be done. Exactly like that. And I think that you'll probably end up there eventually too. You'll just have to figure out what works for you. I really don't have anything else better advice-wise than that. I hope that helped.